Hello, Scorpio. My name is Nigel. You have found Alchemy, and this is your April 2025 reading. Um, I don't know if you watched your spring reading, but I did create a spring overview for each sign. And from the April portion of that reading, here are some of the cards we pulled as promised. So I pulled the same cards so we could go over them and see how they fit in with your month. Okay. We have here in the center, prominently displayed, we have the King of Cups. And in this particular deck, his only astrological association is water fire combo. And I've always looked at Scorpio like they're water on fire, very fiery water sign, right? And the King of Cups is a well-balanced individual. It could be a very well-balanced situation in your love life. It could be something that you're looking to balance. I mean, with these cards coming up together, you have the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is Mercury and Virgo energy, and the Four of Wands is Venus and Aries energy. And I have to tell you, beautiful cards, right? And I'm not sure whether this is something you're trying to attain or it's something that you will attain, but we'll see as we get into the reading. But with the Ten of Pentacles, right, it is attainment, right? But it's you, or perhaps you and your significant other, thinking about long-term plans, right? Long-term foundations, something that has longevity with the Four of Wands here, right? And this is coming home. You know, a question on your mind might be, is this person where I belong? Is this person home to me? Yeah. Now, what's interesting is, you know, for your advice, you have the Sun in reverse, but you also have limiting fears. So this sort of makes sense when you look at them together. One of you, maybe both of you, but definitely one of you has some sort of fears. Does this relationship have what it takes to move into the future? Is it enough? Are we enough? Do we have the foundation that we need to create a family, to create a rock solid future? And you have the Sun in reverse, and that's Leo energy. And basically that's telling you, do not fear. Just enjoy the moments that are very, very good and take it one day at a time. Work on the things that you need to work on as you go along, but don't have fears for the future. Don't fear it, because the fears are very limiting, and it does limit the possibilities that you can have with this person. We do have the uncreated here. And in this deck, this is number 43. Well, the uncreated is the seed of the seed, right? It is sort of preconception energy, right? It's a potent time to conceive. If you're trying to conceive a relationship that has long-term growth, the way a seed would grow, this is the time to do it. You're almost preparing the ground to plant that seed. I like that for you. You do have the vow. And this really goes along with really everything that we've been saying, right? This is number 54 in this deck, but it's a promise. It's an oath. It is a promise for something better. I do think that the situation at hand with all these cards that we've read so far has a lot of promise, but nothing comes without a cost, right? Nothing comes without some sort of work involved. But we'll get to that in a minute. You do have the number 3, and it says, I am charismatic. And you are, Scorpio. You know you are. But, you know, there is a certain type of charisma that you're going to have this month that may not, especially with your significant other, that may not be present at other times. So you're able to communicate really well this month. So use that time really wisely. The number 3 is also representative of Jupiter, the planet of expansion and luck. So that's all really good. You have Venus, and Venus is displayed prominently in your reading, in your astrology. And, you know, obviously it looks like, to be honest with you, a love reading, but it also, let me see if I can refocus this. Yeah. But we know also that Venus is directly linked with our success and our money. So with the 10 of Pentacles, with the 4 of Wands, and with this card, I'm thinking you're thinking about everything. You're not just thinking about one thing. And that's really smart, Scorpio. Now let's look at Venus for April, right? So on April 6th, Venus in Pisces trine Mars in Cancer. And it's time that day to indulge in delicious food, delicious sex, delicious romance, a massage. Anything sensual is really, really good that day. On April 7th, we have a couple of things going on. Venus in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces. And despite being a very spring fling type atmosphere, and rose-colored glasses, it's really important if you're in a relationship to look at it, especially around that day, for what it is. This way you can clearly see its strong points and its weak points, and whatever is weak you could start working on. If you're looking at something through rose-colored glasses, you're not seeing what you need to work on, so things will not get better. You won't be able to grow, right? You won't be able to grow that seed. Also on April 7th, we have Venus in Pisces, sextile Uranus and Taurus, and it is another sensual day too. Yeah, you could use that. You could use it to change things for the better. It's like a cross between sensuality and common sense. And I like that energy. On April 12th, we have Venus goes direct in Pisces, right? And after all the retrogrades that we went through with Mercury and Venus, if you have argued with this person or anyone in your life, if you're not seeing eye to eye, it is a good time for forgiveness. It is a good time to put things behind you and mend anything that needs to be mended. Definitely. On April 20th, we have Venus and Pisces, sextile Uranus and Taurus, and it is a shoot your shot day, right? So whether you're you want to mail that screenplay off, you want to ask for a raise that day, you want to approach delicate conversation with someone, that's a really good day to do it. On April 24th, we have Venus in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces, and it's another amazing love day. But it's a take action day. Don't just sit around dreaming about things. Take action. Do something that actually requires you to take action. On April 30th, finally, Venus enters Aries, and Scorpio, that is some spice for your soup. Expect passion, expect explosive everything. So that is a beautiful energy that you're bringing into this reading. Now, let's move over to this side. We have our Norse decks, right? We have, one at a time. We have this, it's called Han. And simply put, without getting too far into the weeds with it, it is reassurance and protection. You're being reassured that if you put in the work here, you're going to be protected and you're going to achieve something. All right. There is a little work that needs to be done. You also have Feu, and it says wealth, right? And that's kind of like that Venus card, right? What do you consider wealth? Do you consider wealth being in a very healthy, beautiful, long-term relationship? Or do you consider wealth having enough money to, go on vacations and buy a house? Maybe you consider wealth both, because we talked about that with Venus. Whatever it is you consider wealth, this is a gift of wealth, and it's on the table for you. You're taking. I like that for you. You have these two cards coming in reverse, and I don't know if you've watched any of my other readings, but when this particular deck comes in reverse, it's actually a very good thing. This says, the best possible decision. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. And when these come in reverse, it means that this is the kind of, you're going to come to the best possible decision on your own. You're going to do the work, and the best possible outcome is, especially with this protection card, is in the works for you. You have confidence here, and it says, by earth, air, water, and fire, let my confidence take flight, burn higher. So you're going to be moving, and with all that planetary activity, I can see that with confidence, and that's really that's great. I mean, it's just a beautiful energy, right? You're going forth, you're taking action. We talked about those action days. Here are your letters for the month. You have D, M, Q, and F. Now, letters could mean anything, right? It could be someone's initials. It could be a restaurant. It could be a street name, city. It literally have an open mind. Write the letters down and see by the end of the month, one of them or all of them will absolutely mean something to you. You may be planning some travel here. You have a plane here and it's right side up, so this is not going to be a surprise, but you're either planning some travel or you're traveling. Planning something perhaps with your significant other. It says, leave me alone. And this could be, and this is an internal thing that's going on inside you. It could be work-based, honestly. It could be anything. It could be your family getting on your nerves, your friend group getting on your nerves, your work. It could be your significant other momentarily getting on your nerves. It's not something you're sharing readily. It is coming in upside down. And there is the answer, no. I don't know if you see that. It is a coin toss, and it says no. Now, before you get all freaked out over that, it really depends on the question, right? If your question is, will we break up? That's a great, The answer is no. I mean, listen, I'm going with positive things only because I see so many positive cards, right? If I saw negative cards, I would be giving you a whole different litany of things. But the no is probably positive. The no could also be, is this going to be easy? No. There's nothing in life that is worth it that truly is easy. Okay, everything takes a certain amount of work. It just does. Maybe not initially, but at some point it always takes a certain amount of work. Anything worth having does. Okay, I'm going to move some of this out of the way. Now, let's do your tarot. So these are your 3 legs. And like I've been telling everybody, the 3 legs do not have to come in order. I've been getting emails that say, oh, my first leg happened on my last leg. Well, that's good. Sometimes they do happen in order, right? And sometimes they don't. It's going to be different. It's a general reading. And it's reaching way too many people for it to be exactly the same for everyone. That would be really impossible. But, this goes with what we've been saying. This is what you want. You want stability. You want harmony. You want flow, happiness, right? That's what you're striving for. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit. Yeah, so that's what you want. And I can see that. And you have here the 5 of Swords. So at one point on one of your legs, this is Uranus and Aquarius, you're going to be feeling some conflict. It's either going to be external conflict that you have with your significant other, or internal conflict that you're having. With this, it could very well be internal conflict for some of you. But what's great is you do have the devil here in reverse. And the devil is Capricorn energy. But more than that, and I'm sorry, I have a candle burn on the wick got me. When it comes in reverse, it is the release of something that wasn't healthy. Okay. It could be toxic. Toxic's a strong word. Could be arguing a certain way. It could be a bad habit. Could be anything from smoking to shopping too much to wasting time scrolling, anything. But you're releasing something, and I like that because it really does go with all the healthy things we see here on the table. We have the 4 of Swords, so on this particular leg, it is Jupiter in Libra energy, and it is taking action, and that's good. We talked about that, right? That action, taking action in order to achieve results. When we take the action, it's not always the easy road, but it is the correct road. It is the correct road. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 6, which is Venus energy. Venus is coming out over and over for you. Taurus, Libra, if that means anything. But the fact that it came out again on this leg, I really do think it's pointing us in that direction. The direction of love, the direction of stability, the direction of goals that we share together, right? And here on your second leg, you have structure forming, right? This is along with this harmony and flow and stability, you're trying to achieve structure. And it basically is a reiteration of all the things we talked about up here. So that's something you're striving for. Maybe it's something your significant other is striving for. You have here the 2 of Pentacles here in reverse. And the 2 of Pentacles is Jupiter and Capricorn energy. And you may be feeling overwhelmed at some point this month. And it's literally right next to the 5 of Swords. So whether it's internal conflict or external conflict, there's going to be a period of time this month where you feel overwhelmed. And that's okay. It is okay. This is followed by the 3 of Cups, and this is your center card, right? So it's a very prominent card in your reading, and it is coming in sideways. And it is Mercury and Cancer energy. And the sideways cards, in my reading anyway, they're a choice, right? So you need to make a choice on whether to celebrate something or see something as a real harvest and that has real potential or not. You're going to come to a point this month where you're going to say, okay, what do I want? Do I see a future here? And it's going to be different for all of you, but this decision-making process is part of it. And you have the King of Pentacles here in reverse, and that's Sun in Taurus energy. And someone in this connection, right, may be worried. It could be you, it could be the person you're with, may be worried about a long-term success, long-term stability, foundation, right? A conversation needs to be had, right? And that's okay. These are hiccups that all relationships have. You're going to build upon all this with these 2 cards. Listen, there's too many cards for me to go in a negative direction, but most things are not easy. Most things that hang in there a very long time. Ask anyone who's been married. Ask an old person who's married 50, 60 years, 70 years, whatever, a long time. At what's your secret, right? None of them will say, oh, it's easy as pie. There is no effort involved. None of them will say that, right? So just keep that in mind. When we add this up and we break it down, it's not surprising we get Mercury, right? That Gemini Virgo energy. What did I say? A conversation needs to be had. It is a communication number. It is a communicative planet. And Mercury is finally direct. So you could really have this conversation in April and get somewhere. Now, hopefully my dogs won't start barking. If they do, I will pause this until it's over because I hear something outside. But you do have commitment. I mean, this goes with the stability, the foundation, family, a commitment. Whether you want children or not, it's not the point. You want to grow something. You want long-term something here. Now, on this leg, you do have a strength in reverse. You have Leo energy here in reverse. And this may hearken to one person in this connection who may be overly reliant on the other. Now, that doesn't mean that that is a toxic relationship. It just means that you may be going through a period of time where that's true, and it's not going to be true forever. Now, some relationships are toxic because it's very imbalanced. But some people, most people, go through periods of time where it's imbalanced for a while, right? It's not always 50-50. Sometimes it's 90-10. Sometimes it's, 30-70. It's just life. But there is one person on this leg who may be feeling needy, who may be feeling over-reliant in some way. And you have the Fool coming in reverse. And this is, in my opinion anyway, it's Aquarius energy. Many people say Gemini, and this is not starting out on a new road. This is staying together, staying put. You're not going anywhere, right? And you have the Knight of Pentacles here, and the Knight of Pentacles is Mercury and Virgo energy. And, for me, I know not all readers see this, but, when I see the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the deck. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. When I see them in reverse, at least sometimes I see the opposite. So being that this is the slowest moving knight in the deck, I do see, especially with all your astrology, go back and listen to those dates again. Something is speeding up. Something is getting cohesive. The pre-creation process has been triggered. I like that for you. When we add this up and we break it down, it's Saturn energy, which is Capricorn Aquarius. And it begs the question, are we better together? I think we're better together. This is a lesson we're learning. We need to go through this. Okay? Are we better together? Now, let's look at your challenges. What's interesting here is for your challenges, you have wish fulfillment. This relationship here, Scorpio, could be something you wished for, but it doesn't mean it's not a challenge because it's in your challenge pile, right? So yeah, what did I say? Some of the best things in life are challenges, period, right? But you have, let me see if I can do this without ruining it. You have, yeah, I mean, look, see, that's the 10 of Pentacles up here. Here's the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, right? Mercury and Virgo energy again. Long-term success is a challenge. It's a worry for someone. It is a worry. There may be someone here with this Taurus energy. You have the Hierophant, and that is straight up Taurus energy, but it is living by an indoctrinated way, right? Somebody may be very rigid in saying, I want this, this, and this. This is very traditional. And another person may be worried, and maybe it's the same person that's worried about money and stability, but it's a challenge, and just look at it as such. Don't look at it as insurmountable. You have here the 7 of Pentacles coming in sideways, and this is Venus and Taurus energy. And like I said, my sideways cards are decisions. So a challenge this month is going to be you both, and I'm really kind of batting for you here, you deciding whether to work on this or not, whether to wait for the good stuff to come in or not. This wish fulfillment comes with a price, okay? It absolutely does. Now, when we look at your opportunities, what's interesting is we have you being closed off and guarded as an opportunity. You taking time to pull back and figure out what it is you want. Pull back and figure out whether you need boundaries or not in this situation. You do have these 3 cards. You have the Ace of Wands, which is pure fire pretty much in any deck, right? A new passionate start. You have the opportunity for this, a new passionate start. Pulling back, thinking about what it is you want, thinking about what wish fulfillment means to you, and then having the opportunity to have this start, having the opportunity to let go of whatever happened in the past, whatever happened between you and this person in the past. 10 of Swords, Sun in Gemini in reverse. You also have another interesting thing is the 9 of Swords as an opportunity. Mercury in Gemini. And this sort of, it's an opportunity for you to realize what the power of your thinking is, right? This is negative thinking, right? This is dreading things, being fearful. What did we talk about? Limiting fears. Are limiting fears affecting the outcome? Are limiting fears affecting your day-to-day vibe, what you're drawing into yourself? There's an opportunity here to re-examine that. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get the moon, you know? Yeah, I mean, the moon is, if you notice, there is a pull, a lunar pull, right? You're being pulled in a direction. And it's an opportunity. It is an opportunity. Plus, the moon is filled with feminine intuition, feminine meaning that intuitive side of you, whether you're male or female. Now, what's interesting too, during this reading, I've had nothing but problems with equipment. I had problems with posting the shuffle, which, 99.9% of the time I always do. I think maybe one other time my shuffle got deleted since I started this channel. There was a couple of other things that happened around here. Mercury retrograde in full force. So yeah, during Mercury retrograde, we have to watch. We have to watch our communications. We have to watch our equipment. We have to double check things. In April, you're going to have the opportunity to come out of that retrograde energy and dive right into a really good mercurial communication with this person. Now, let's pull a couple of cards from this deck. We're going to close out your reading, and we're also going to do your numerology to see how everything adds up. I think that's always interesting. For Scorpio, for April 2025, you have the Hierophant. Wow. The Hierophant, just like here, this commitment. Are you making a commitment to yourself to see things differently, or are you making a commitment to another person? Are you trying to break free of some sort of preconceived indoctrination? Could be. At the bottom of the deck, you do have, wow, the Chariot. You have the Chariot, which is full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. You're going with this. You're going for this. You're moving ahead. You have that Cancerian energy, just like you did here with the moon. Really nice energy here, Scorpio, but it is a choice you're going to have to make. You're going to be presented with something this month, and there is an uncreated pre-germination period. There is a vow here on the table, and this Hierophant could, represent that vow. Absolutely could represent that vow. Let's do your numerology here. Okay, when we add every number up in this reading and we break it down, we get the number 5, which is Mercury. What did I say? There is once Mercury retrograde clears up, there is a conversation that's going to take place. And here we go. There's a garbage truck outside, and I'm waiting for my dogs to react to it. I'm really hoping they don't. The numbers that came out the most were number 5 and number 10. Number 5 being Mercury. Okay, conversations that need to take place when retrograde time is over. And number 10, which is your number, Pluto, Scorpio. Rebirth. There is something that died. There is something that's being reborn. As far as signs go, we have Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, Aries, Leo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, Taurus, and of course Scorpio. Now the numbers that came out the most, there's 3. The signs that came out the most. We have Gemini, which is Mercury. You see how it kind of like always connects? We have Uranus, which is Aquarius, but it is change. So communication, change, and finally we have Venus. Venus came out the most, which we talked about over here. It's a very important planet for you, right? It's Taurus. So Taurus came out the most, Aquarius, Virgo, and Gemini. So Virgo and Gemini being the mercurial part of the reading. Now, as far as planets go, honestly, Mercury came out the most again. Communication, very important, and Venus, right? It just always adds up to something that connects, and I absolutely love that. I love the way the readings always unfold and connect at the end to sort of cement that this is indeed someone's reading. I wish you nothing but the best, and I will see you next time. Namaste.